Hi, I'm David Marsh, and one of the thoughts I have too when it comes to developing a total swimming experience is, we're so used to swimming in the still water of a pool that I think sometimes you take athletes, you put them in different environments. I think it can really help them to understand the overall aquatic experience. We're taking these land athletes and then turning them into aquatic athletes, and when you're looking at an opportunity like with an endless pool, the water is moving, and that moving water can really help the athlete to experience a sensation that they never get in still water. The ocean is much the same way. So a lot of swimmers will use the ocean waves to really learn how to feel the water when their body's surfing. Aaron Pearsall, Dana Vollmer, they talk about how they use that to experience the energy of the ocean and understand the power that's in the water. Well, the same thing here, to move a big body of water like the endless pool does, allows for an athlete to have a whole new and different and exciting experience. We're going to work on freestyle in the endless pool now, and we're going to start with the very basic, which is, I think maybe one of the most valuable things to do in the endless pool is just find your proper body line. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to put hands down here like they're in your pocket, normal positioning. Just going to stay flat at first and kick really light. Only kick as much as you have to. Eyeballs are looking down into the mirror, okay? Elongate your neck like a giraffe. Okay, and with the snorkel in, I should see all but probably 2 inches of the snorkel. So it's down in line, elongate, and just kick really light. Pull the belly button up a little bit so I see the skin of your suit on the surface. Just kick nice and light. Let's just get that first. Now you can see here by her body position, you see her shoulders out, but I don't see the skin of the suit. She's kicking pretty hard too, which really should have her rear end up a little higher based on that. So I'm slowing it down now, trying to get her to be more comfortable and more relaxed. This should take almost no heartbeats to do this. She should be, really at 100 beats or less doing this. So let's just to check it out, let's see what her heart rate is right now. Let me come here right here. I'm going to check your heart rate. Give me your bicep. So you're 120 heart rate, okay? And what that means is you're exerting effort there. This should almost be effortless. So your heart rate should be under 100. So the correction I want to see you do is I want you to elongate your spine more, push your belly button up on the surface, much lighter kick, then press with your face and chest, press this down. So like you're leaning a little bit against a tree or something, just lean into the top part of your stroke, and that'll help slowly raise your hips and get comfortable. Nice and relaxed. You're gonna lean down, skin of the suit's coming up, and that's exactly right. So when she's doing it right, her snorkel probably should have gone underwater like that. Even slow her down a little bit more because I don't want her kicking that hard. All right. When we're establishing body position, a lot of the floating drills that Madison was doing will be good for before you get comfortable in these positions. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Not a lot better yet. I want to see it even be even better. You don't need, what you need is just time to relax in the water, okay? There's a lot of swimmers that are kind of breath holding, kind of eager to do right kind of athletes. And a lot of times you do private lessons, that's kind of what happens by the nature of a private lesson. But a lot of swimming is learning how to relax, learning how to just kind of chill out and do things, become more comfortable in the water, become more aquatic. So what I want to see you do now is maybe emotionally think about that. Think about just relaxing a little bit more. In fact, sing a little happy song in your mind as you do this. Continue to elongate and press down. And when you press it down, you don't press it in waist, you just fall down, okay? You fall into the top of your stroke. Because your lungs are located here, okay? But your center of mass is down here, this is where most of the muscle is. So you actually have to press your lungs down to get the heavier muscles up. So that's why we have to do that. We have to kind of press on what we used to call the T, the front here, your face, your shoulders. Then when you're swimming, it'll be your armpit to armpit is what you press on. But for right now, press this. Let's try that one more time. Just definitely a little more comfortable now. Definitely a little more comfortable. Very nice. We're gonna move on to rotation now. Go from just control body line into a slow rotation either side. So I want her to take plenty of time to go all the way to 90 degrees and then all the way the other way to 90 degrees. Do it real comfortable, again with a long neck, really light kick that moves you one side to the other. Let's see how you do on this. And again, the hands just stay part of the body and use gravity to turn over a little bit. Good. You find with a lot of swimmers that one side's a little bit better than the other. And what we want to do in swimming is have everything balanced. So we want to work on the symmetry of both strokes. She's a little bit better to her left side than her right side. But she's getting more comfortable now. Your hips are slowly dropping down a little bit. So when you're doing this, kind of lean, now instead of leaning on the chest, start leaning on your shoulder and then keep the lean as you press down. Because about that much your snorkel's out, let's get about that much out. So if you're not kind of taking a little bit of water and have to spit it out, probably your head's probably not low enough overall. So continue with that rotation. Another thing I'm seeing here as she's kicking along here on her sides is that she's not kicking through the bottom of her kick. When we kick, we want to kick like we're kicking a soccer ball, kicking all the way through. She's kicking only to a locked out position, and she doesn't kick beyond. So she's kicking like here and coming back up. I want kicks to go all the way through the full range of motion. So that's something else that Lauren can work on. Nice, nice. So that's really good. Now we're going to drop the snorkel. And, okay, I want you to, for the sake of the camera, I want you to go underwater for 30 seconds. So I'm going to tell them something that you're going to probably do that I don't want you to know I'm telling them. Okay, I'm having her go underwater because as we add on no snorkel, she's gonna, when she turns her head to breathe, the water is probably gonna push her to a side. You watch her as she breathes because she won't be breathing in line, so we'll work on that now. Okay, and the thing about the endless pool is the water's pushing out at her, so she's good in that position, and then she's rotating over. Let's watch what happens here. If this is the center right here, she should be able to stay on the center. She's good on that side. Let's watch the other side. She's actually doing this pretty well. Moved over a little now over here. Okay, as she's getting a little more tired, you see her moving more now. And when we're swimming, a lot of times that's exactly what happens. As we get more tired, we lose our technique. She's able to concentrate at the beginning, but we've done it a little bit longer now. She's having to kick a little harder. And now I've seen her move in this range here now. Now she's over here. But overall, pretty good breathing. She's only taking one goggle out. Okay, it didn't work. So what I was telling them was when a lot of times when you go there, and this is good for all you guys that are here, so just listen to what I'm talking about. So you may not be doing freestyle, but this still pertains to you. So when you're in that position here, and then when you breathe, a lot of people who, if you're not lined up and symmetrical, that water pushing out at you, and you breathe to the side like a lot of people do, that water will just push you over that way. Like you literally go out of the moving water stream, it'll push you that way. You were going really good though. Yeah, yeah, it's fine. Gotta give us more speed. Yeah. See a significant shoulder drop. She sets it and then drops it like a lot of swimmers do. Head position is pretty good. Recovering kind of around the side. I like recovering over the body. One of the things when you're rotating and you had your head here, it looked wonderful. Now, as soon as we started swimming, you flattened off quite a bit. You flattened off, the recovery came from the outside, so this is going to help you by doing this. It's going to remind you to go back, bump, bring it over the top, recover, bump the elbow, bump the tricep on my noodle, and then bring it over the top.
Do you want me to still touch it as in bringing it over?
I want your tricep to kind of bump it and then to move in that direction. You may not be touching it the whole time. Okay. Go ahead and do it first with the snorkel. I'm putting this noodle right down the center of her body. And you can see immediately she opens up a lot more. And the energy she's swimming with right now is going down the pool. It's not going around the side. I like this type of stroke. Open armpit, very nice. Now she's close to a junior national level swimmer, so she's a highly capable swimmer, but probably from just some training habits has gotten the habit of swinging her arms around the side kind of to survive. And I'm going to take it away so she can keep doing it without the tactical sense. Just kind of keep swimming with the same thing. When I take it away, just keep swimming with it. I'll bop you when I want you to stop. Very nice. All right, now we'll do the whole fix. So your stroke is looking fantastic there. Okay. What we want to add now is you got that awesome mirror underneath you. Now you're going to look at the mirror, do exactly what you're doing there, over the top, like this. But I want you to set your catch. Watch with your eyes what's going on here, because what's going on is you're setting your catch initially, but then when you start to activate the hip to rotate, you're dropping your elbow. Okay? So I want you to stay above that and keep emphasizing that the hand stays in line with the elbow until you get underneath your shoulder, and then you can kind of press through. So just pay attention, almost like with that catch-up stroke you're doing, to what's going on underwater with your catch. Okay. Speed her up a little bit. I'm just going to touch your elbow with the end of this. It's reminding you to keep it up right here. You're going okay right here, but then you immediately drop it. Keep it here, almost obnoxiously too far over. Like over-exaggerate the correction right now. Yes, nice. Nice. Now she's seeing this at the same time, which is wonderful. Hard to do in a regular meet. Now I'm going to send her out to the main pool next for her to take this and move it into the competitive pool without the moving water, so she'll own this feeling. But this is a major improvement in her stroke. She can work the basics of body line, working on the surface, rotating over the top, and now by watching the mirror in the bottom of the endless pool, she's able to think about the her high catch. Okay, one more thing about the high catch is when your hands are going out, you're going straight out like this, okay? I want them to actually carve down as you go out. So instead of going straight, linear, and then down, I want to go here and shape your fingertips down. And with the water coming at it, you'll feel a little pressure on the back of the hand. Just go with it and let it shape down. You'll feel slightly shorter in your top of your freestyle. That's okay, let it be a little shorter. Yes, yes. Nice. Can you video a little bit of this for her? This looks really good. That's really good. See, after this, you're going to go out and swim in the flat water and take this and move it out there. And then you're going to swim like that for the rest of your life. So the lecture is this. The lecture for all you guys is when you learn stuff like this and then you go to practice, you're going to kind of lose it sometimes in practice when you're working hard. Then you have to finish practice with the preferred technique. Right. Start and end practice like this. Hang on to it as long as you can. When you get tired in practice, eventually it might go away. But then end practice again with a few laps of the best technique again. So you leave the pool with your nervous system firing the ideal technique, not the tired technique. Okay. All right, let's watch that ideal technique again. Let's go without the snorkel now. So you got to keep breathing low. I'll take it.
Okay.
Got to keep breathing low.
Okay.
There you go. She had a nice correction with the right catch. Man, that looks good. Doesn't that look great? High catch. Keep that elbow up.
Okay.
You did it a few times, then it started dropping a little bit. You got that mirror, use it. So she's one of the best high school kids in the country, and her biggest issue is breathing out of line. It's kind of her biggest technical flaw. So when you do breathe, try to breathe as low as you can and in line as much as you can. And just kind of watch yourself in the mirror as you do this too. Kind of just own this feeling, comfort and rotation. All right, hold up. This is a national caliber swimmer, one of the better high school swimmers in the country, and yet you can see the basic move like this. She's almost needs to go back to learning the ABCs. She's not comfortable relaxing in the water and then rotating in a controlled way. She's using a lot of effort to rotate. It's not smooth and relaxed. Ultimately, when she does this and we get it down, she'll kick along, have the head down, and when she wants to breathe, she'll just slowly rotate over. Inhale with the edge of her mouth in the water, and then rotate back. There will be no jerking as she shifts over. It'll be really smooth and fluent. Okay, let's keep working on that. So that's the goal. So this is huge for you right here. So this is exactly what I want you to do. You're really backfilling your stroke. You do so many things really well, but this is a foundational piece that's just, the small ABCs. Okay, obviously when you're working with high-level swimmers like she is, you don't want to tear them down too much. A lot of swimmers will take stroke advice as negative advice about them, and they'll take it as personal issues. So you kind of have to reinforce that, this is one of the things they need to improve. They do 10 things extremely well, and obviously, if you're a high school female and doing 49, you do a lot of things extremely well, but there's always room to improve. If you have the motivation to improve, there's always room to keep improving. So if you can, when you're giving feedback to swimmers, give the kind of the Oreo theme, something good, the improvement, and something good. So that they're always understanding that it's not a personal thing. And you got to know the personality of the swimmers too. And you got to know if they're a little more sensitive, and then you got to be careful about when you give them that feedback versus, probably a more confident and open person. they can handle it. You can give them stuff without being quite as concerned about it affecting them in an overall negative way. Just comfortable, let gravity take you down. So don't try to muscle down, just think of your hip and your shoulder lightly kicking over. When you get over the side, you can steal a little air and then lightly come back. Gravity from the top side, kind of sinking down to reestablish your position on the side.
Okay.
This is funny. She really has a hard time with it. Huh? Yeah, you see that? How she's herky-jerky? A lot of times backfilling is harder than teaching them from the beginning correct. But these are the little subtleties that make the difference between good and great. We're going to do some more advanced stuff in this pool. Now we're going to take our arms and start using those rather than just body position. So start with body position, rotation. Now we're going to add a little bit of underwater recovery. So on this, you're going to go same body line, same long line. You put a snorkel on so we can get rid of the breathing part. Just going to reach out and set a high catch. With the mirror underneath you, you'll be able to see the high catch shaping. And I want you to watch how it shapes initially. Hold this position and then have your hips move that hand. Don't lead with the elbow. If you ever see any elbow or the forearm, that means you're dropping elbow. So you should see, this whole thing should disappear. Your blade should be disappear until it's underneath your armpit. Okay? Play with that. And I can only see this when I look from the side. If I'm coaching from the top, I really can't see the high catch. So I have to be over here on the side and be able to look right here and watch what's going on. Really is very helpful. Now she's getting a high catch, but she's pulling pretty shallow, especially for more of a sprint athlete. She'll want to pull a little bit deeper, so we'll work on that next. Her right arm is a little bit better than her left arm. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, you're catching pretty well there, but you're a little bit shallow. So I want you to go down, probably to the depth of, pretend like you're reaching down deep enough to where you're at the top of the angled mirror. So when you carve down, go down to that depth with the high catch and then move it back. Set there and then move it back. Okay? And I'll point it where I want her to. Go ahead. Now she's setting her catch a little bit deeper. Good. She's actually going up and bumping the front of it, which I think is not a bad idea. Got good rotation with her hips. She's got good timing. She's rotating a little bit more to the left than the right. Okay, really nice. What does that feel like?
It feels like when I take my stroke, I usually go straight in and then pull, but it feels like I'm pointing down more and then catching more water.
Okay, excellent. That's exactly what we want, right? So we want to be efficient going down in the front catch. Wasted time up here is no good. We want to carve down into the catch, and that's exactly what you're doing, so that's outstanding. So do that a little bit more, then we'll add the overwater. I'm putting this down, the point of this down there to try to get it to reach toward the end of my noodle stick. All right, looking good. All right, now we're gonna start bringing it the stroke over the top. Maintain all that stuff you're doing on the bottom there. Keep your eyeballs looking at the mirror there, and just swim like that. Nice. Now I gotta go a little faster. Sorry, I gotta go a little faster. You're a little better than that. That's really good. From a front view, she's cutting the water beautifully. Very nice depth on the water too. Liam's only been swimming for 1 year, and we're working on his freestyle. And you can see at the beginning here, does a lot of things really well. Mainly what he's already doing well is he's cutting the water nice side to side. With a swimmer that's only been swimming for 1 year, I don't want to make too many corrections because we'd really rather have them develop naturally. We don't want to force a lot of conscious thinking into his swimming. We want him to enjoy and relax and understand the water. He already has a great relationship with the water, so that's a really good place to start, especially for someone who's starting swimming at the age of 13. So some of the corrections we'll make here then will be probably a little more subtle than I would make with a seasoned veteran. All right, and this is a really good correction for an endless pool, right? So right now, if you're looking at him, he's dropping his elbows quite a bit. He's leading his pool with his elbows. With that mirror, it is really a good feature. Okay, biggest correction I think we can do today is underwater. When you're swimming, you're grabbing here. You're kind of putting your hands here. Then you're actually leading with your elbow. Okay. What we want to do is, it's really a strange thing in swimming. Come right here, stand right here, and stand up tall. Just stand up. Yep. Now put your hand up like you're swimming that way. Now I'm the water. What are you going to do with that water? I'm the water. You're going to push against me to make you swim.